Howdy folks, Doc here with Last Best Tool, and this is the Harbor Freight Doyle 10-inch soft grip plier. Now the reason I'm pointing this out is because there are very few competitive pliers to the Knipex 8111-250. Now this one right now on Amazon sells for about $41 and change, yet Harbor Freight says you can compare their Doyle to the Knipex. The Knipex is selling for $70.38, whereas the Doyle is 69% cheaper. No, not quite. The Doyle is $22. This, let's call it $42 to make it, I'm going to round up a ways. So it's 20 bucks more. Now, why do you need these things? Well, I've done videos on these where the soft grip is actually really handy for all kinds of different tasks where you have surfaces you don't want to mar. However, sometimes you need two of these things. So on the surface, very similar. In fact, you might notice there's something about those teeth. I actually interchanged the Knipex with the Doyle here, the Harbor Freight Doyle. And this one here is the Knipex. This hard one, or this full solid red one, is the Doyle. Now, very similar designs. The Doyle here claims that it has 22 adjustable positions with a 3-inch max. The Knipex has more than 22 positions and slightly more than a 3-inch max. If you actually look at where those, the close-up, I can get that to focus there on where those jaws line up. It's slightly more. Basically a non-issue. Doyle uses a more integrated kind of push button versus Knipex, which allows you to easily pop this screw and replace this mechanism easily. Very easily, as a matter of fact. But the kit is about 10 bucks to do that. One of the other things is if you look at the actual thickness, and this has been a kind of an issue with some of the Harbor Freight pliers that are very similar to some of the others. Right here, it doesn't even matter what the number is. I just measured it. If I throw the Knipex in, you can see there is a sizable amount of extra space there. Get that to focus on. Come on, focus right in there. That's the difference. So with the Knipex, you get a little bit more clearance. Generally with these, it's not an issue. So why do I need two pair? Well, sometimes I'm working with anodized aluminum. I've got a Klein flashlight here. And the reason I picked out this Klein one is I don't know how much has Klein been attacked by Harbor Freight yet. I mean, they're going after Knipex, they go after Snap-on, they go after a lot of the major brands, but have they done Klein yet? Or is that in the future? But anyway, back to the point. Sometimes, let's say I've got anodized aluminum or aluminum that is stuck, and I don't want to just score the heck out of it. So what I do is, I often wrap a towel or tape or something around it, but I could easily use two of these in order to grab this and then try to get this thing loosened. There we go, loosened up. Now, is that excessive? There's a magnet there that's pretty strong. Perhaps. I haven't found it as often in the flashlights as I have with old laser pointers or things where the batteries last forever, and they may have corroded. They may not have lasted forever. And I just want to open these things up without, as I originally did, scuffing the heck out of these things, trying to pull them apart. So you can get a similar plier. I will say similar. If I look at the design across the board, I don't see any real innovation. See the handles, similar design, just a slightly different pivot mechanism, a little bit less in terms of the number of settings you can choose, but I don't know if that's a huge deal. But anyway, Doyle is one of the other Harbor Freight brands below Icon, as far as I know. I have trouble keeping all of them straight. Somebody else can jump in and do that work. But it does seem to be a useful second tool. If you're going to be using this a lot, spend the extra 20 bucks and get the nice German quality. If you may never use it, yeah, sure, get Doyle. But if you want a second one, Most of the time, one is plenty. But if you need that second one, yeah, then you could explore it. So anyway, there it is. The Doyle soft grip adjustable plier from Harbor Freight. And with that, Doc out.